Uh-huh. Uh-huh. That's right. Uh-huh.
What have you been up to?
I've been riding on a daydream. Yeah. I made a mistake. I kind of listened to the weather forecasters. We got a little bit of ice pellets falling down, but our forecast is calling, as far as snowfall, anywhere between 3 inches and 9 inches. I don't know how accurate any of that's going to be, but it's all over the place, and they've been talking about it now for a couple of days.
The colder air will make more inroads tonight. The moisture will become more entrenched tonight. This is at 8 o'clock this evening, a little after sunset. Starting to see snow becoming more likely across the region, and then the radar should fill in as we go through the overnight tonight. Now you'll notice here on the model I'm showing you that there's not much being shown. Ignore the green shading, it's not rain, it would be light snow. But there's not much once you get up towards Route 87, northern Trumbull, over into the Greenville area, Sandy Lake, places like that in northern Mercer, northern Trumbull. Those will be the places that get the least amount of snow with this. This is not a lake effect event, so the snow belt areas, actually in this situation will get quite a bit less, it looks like, than some other areas. I'm going to show you, what we've been dealing with over the past few days is the models waffling back and forth, and it puts us right in the zone of greatest uncertainty. This is a model that has many different what we call members. There's like 21 different lines on the screen here. Each one of those lines represents a different part of that model. This is the snow forecast, and the numbers are a little hard to see over here, but here's 2.5, here's 5, 7.5, 10. Notice how big the spread is, and this is for the Youngstown area. The spread is anywhere from about 0 to 15 on this model.
So this is the problem that I have with Ohio forecast and this time of year and the uncertainty. Here's a forecaster, and it's only about 15 hours away from the big snow event, or a snow event. I don't think it's that big. But as far as the forecast or the information he's being given, it could be from 0 inches to 15 inches. I mean, that's a huge difference. It'd be different, if it was between 1 and 3 inches and 2 to 5 inches. But come on, they're saying that there's a chance of 15 inches. And we're only, again, 15 hours out. This uncertainty all is based on this guy getting it pretty close to being right, which he does a pretty good job. That's why I watch him all the time. But it's still, just horrible.
With the average being right in here, where that black darker line is, the average for Youngstown is about 6 when you take a look at the average. And this is a reason why I'm not convinced that we need to make huge changes to our forecast and lower amounts everywhere dramatically. When we look at Lisbon, down in central Columbiana County, amounts are definitely higher on the models. They're lower than yesterday, for sure. The trend has been lower, but they're still significant. This is still enough to be inconvenient and shovel and plow and cause disruptions.
There was nothing in the forecast. It was all clear. Everything looked good, and it was supposed to be, dry and sunny, and anyways, it's not now. A surprising thing just happened to me, though, and that was I turned on the propane tanks, which I had shut off all winter, obviously, and I thought I'll go ahead and warm up the RV, because now that the cover's off, I can run the furnace just to make sure everything works okay. I usually turn on all the burners on the stove until the propane purges all the air out of the system that has made its way into the pipes. That didn't happen. I turned on the burner and put the lighter down to it, and it lit immediately. So I turned on the furnace, and guess what? It kicked on immediately. There was no hesitation. You see, I got a rodent living underneath my RV. Pretty big one, too. But yeah, that's crazy. I've never had that happen, so it makes me feel pretty good about, the condition of my iron pipe that's underneath there. But yeah, we've got snow coming in, so let's talk about some things. It's not like these RVs can't handle snow. It's not like that it's going to be an issue either, because as I mentioned to John from Sebring, John, if you're watching, hi, how are you? The sky and the angle in which the sun is at this time of year, the sun just keeps on getting higher and higher in the sky. So even though we're supposed to have snow as far as it sticking to the ground and accumulating, it will, but it's not going to really do that until it gets to the night time, when temperatures cool off and of course the sun's not around. Then it will accumulate, but the following day the sun will come up and start melting it right away. So even though we may get some decent amount of snow, we don't have enough really cold days in line in a row that's going to keep the snow on the ground for any period of time. So as far as the RV is concerned, I'm not really worried about having, you know, a pile of snow on the roof that's going to be there for, you know, 2 months or 2 weeks. It may be up there at the longest a week, and I doubt even then. And the reason that I'm kind of hesitant, you know, as far as warming the RV up, is because that, you know, if there's heat escaping through the roof, which I'm sure there is. I mean, this isn't insulated extremely well, but it's insulated okay. But it's still going to have heat loss, especially around the vents and stuff like that. Well, if you had a lot of snow, you know, it's going to melt that snow and it's going to become water. The problem is the other snow that's not being melted, that's surrounding that area, is going to provide a dam to keep the water right where it is, so it doesn't get a chance necessarily to run off. And if it does run to any extent, it might freeze, and that's where you get into issues. Whenever you have water that starts creeping into locations throughout the RV, through seams that have heat loss that is going out and melting whatever's up there and making it liquid, but the liquid has nowhere to run. So that's why I cover the RV. That's why I put a cover on the RV. So I'm going to close out this video right now, and we'll come back to let you know how the weather's turned out. And like I showed just the day before yesterday, I took the cover off and everything was fine, but we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. All right, man. So yeah, the RV's got snow on it. I don't know how many inches of snow this is. Of course, it's still falling. They're saying another 1 to 3 yet, and I can believe it the way things are. The wind was coming out of the east, which is odd. That's why this buildup looks the way that it does. But yeah, there is definitely no camping today. I wouldn't be able to get out. Well, actually, the snow's not that bad to drive on, I'm sure. Although Heidi, her short little drive to work that she had today, this morning, the plows hadn't run, and the drive that takes normally about 10 minutes for her in the morning took over 30, because she had to take back roads because there were so many accidents that they closed up the little stretch of road between here and Alliance. But yeah, the snow's real crunchy. This is that snowball making snow for sure. For sure. Oh, it's not as wet as I thought it was. It's crunching underneath my feet, probably because the ground's so warm. Oh, hit my door. Could have broke it. Yeah. It's funny that, you know, there wasn't any snow, and now there's plenty of snow. Oh my. I probably won't shovel any of this. Not even a tiny bit, because snow, like I said, another 1 to 3 is supposed to fall. After that, there's might even be peaks of sunshine today, and all this will melt. Within 2 days, it's all going to melt. And as far as how much we've got here being an issue, as far as the ground being wet, this isn't like a normal winter thaw, because everything had a chance to dry out prior to this. So I could probably get away with not doing anything. And the reason is because the ground underneath isn't frozen, and if I get my plow out for my tractor, it'd probably really tear up the driveway, because our driveway's gravel. Yeah, again, there's the plow truck. Wonder where he was this morning. Yeah, Heidi said the plow truck hadn't run. Oh well. I might have to shovel off the steps and the walkway a little bit more here. Like I didn't figure this was going to happen. I mean, we get snow all the time. You know, in March. March is the 4th snowiest month, and out of the total precipitation that we get in the winter months, March gets 17% of that snow. So it's, you know, pretty equal there. Actually, November gets less of a percentage of the winter total of snow than March does. November, we only get about 9% of the snow for the total snowfall for winter. And of course, December and January do pretty good. February also does pretty good as far as snow. But yeah, March is the 4th snowiest month. Yeah, snowstorms in March, not a big deal. Like I said before on one of my previous videos, that we had a winter just like this one last year, to where February we had a warm spell that was very warm and very nice in February, and we still acquired 20 inches of snow in March. You know, I know that some of the people that watch us from the south, I'm so glad you guys are down there. Yes, we would love to be down there with you one day. You know, we have plans of definitely staying away from this, but I wanted to show you guys that, you know, it's not spring just because it says March on the calendar, at least in the northern states. And you know, people are getting hit pretty bad for this storm as far as an impact, because everybody woke up this morning to this. I mean, last night when I went to bed, there was some snow on the grass, and when I say some, there was just a trace. And there was some on the roadways, of course, too, but mainly it was wet because of the heat. I mean, the road temperatures were still about 34 degrees. So there's a lot of people that went to bed thinking, oh, maybe it won't be so bad, and they got up and it looked like this, or actually the roads was worse. So yeah, people down south, I know where you're coming from, because I remember clearly when I was raised in Florida that once you get past January, that's it. Your winter's pretty much over and everything starts to get warmer. There might be 1 or 2 cold days that show up, but for the most part, you just start counting on the fact that winter is over. Well, that's not the case in Ohio. Well, we would get another snowstorm. We could get a snowstorm like this again in April even. The chances are thin, but 2 years ago, I posted a video, and it was May 15th, and we actually had snowfall on May 15th. Now, nothing like this. It wasn't even accumulating, but except on my jacket whenever I was shooting the video, it was definitely covering me up to some extent. So, yeah, snow happens. Okay, so I fibbed to you guys a little bit. I just couldn't stand it anymore. I went ahead and plowed. I knew I was going to tear up the driveway, and you could see all the dirt and chunks of gravel and stuff like that, especially out by the road. It's really bad. But I just went ahead and plowed. And the reason is because when the sun does come out, the more I got thinking about it, if I can just expose a little bit of this dark ground at all, it really makes a huge difference in the sun's effectiveness to melt stuff. Like I said, the ground is soft. I mean, you can see I can scrub up gravel there. It's not like it's frozen or anything. So whenever the sun does come out, which hopefully it does, it doesn't look like it right now, does it? I mean, it's still coming down, but it's not coming down very hard. It's just been coming down consistent. Yeah, this will all melt. So I'm gonna go inside. I'm gonna try to get this video up for you guys. And as always, I hope to see you not out here, out there somewhere, nice and warm. Appreciate it, guys. Ugh, horrible. Talk to you later. Bye.